Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Lee Grant and welcome back to another video where we are going to continue to work on building this smart inventory tracker. So the purpose of this project is to be able to explore a lot of those concepts that are important in software engineering. So my background is I have my bachelor's in electrical and computer engineering, which is very different than software engineering. And I enjoy software engineering. I'm hoping eventually to be able to kind of jump over and become a software engineer. So this is I'm building a whole bunch of different projects to try to go along in that goal. So this is one right here. So going to be using Node.js. I'm going to be doing a lot of, I'm going to try to interact with a database. I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff to be able to help teach me a lot of those back-end software engineering concepts and get some practice with it. So this is more just informal. We're just trying to have fun, build some projects, etc. So, and learn along the way. So let me minimize myself here. So in the last video, what we did is we set up this packet or this folder. So I created this smart inventory system folder and I have this package.json. So when I ran npm init, it created this package.json file on its own. And then I did npm install and then all of the dependencies that I'm going to need for this project. So I did express, I did mongoose, and I did .env. And npm, I think, is kind of like it stands for Node Package Manager. So this is the system or entity, agent, I'm going to call it. This is the agent that's running or that is keeping track of my project and all of the dependencies. And now if I want to change machines, I can do npm install. What it's going to do is it's going to look for this package.json file, look at those dependencies and say, hey, okay, I'm going to go install this and this version. I'm going to install Express in this version, Mongoose in this version. Awesome. And then it's going to be able to run the project. Okay, so now there are a few more questions that I had before I can immediately jump into actually building the project, which was what is this .env? So I'm a little bit, I don't know what this .env is. I ran the code to install it. You can see right here, npm node package manager install .env, but I'm not sure what that is and why I needed to do that. So let's go and talk to Copilot. So what is the npm install .env and what okay, what is its importance? Okay, so you're installing .env package, which is used for managing environment variables. So what is an environment variable? In many applications, you have sensitive configuration values like API key, database URLs, authentication secrets, and other configuration settings. Okay, instead of hard coding these into your JavaScript file, which is insecure, you store them in a .env file. So do I need to create this myself? So I already did this. So create a .env, okay, in my root. Okay, so I think I need to create that .env in my actual, here, right? Now, I remember from here, okay, so I do have from my root, it was telling me to create a .env. So let's just create that right now. So can I just go .env? Is it kind of like that? Is that how it was saying to do it? .env. Let's go back to Safari. So here, .env. So it has port Mongo URL, okay. So for right now, I'm just gonna copy and paste that in. Whoops, not that. Copy this, paste it here, okay. Save that, all right. And now I know, okay, so now I'm gonna try to figure out, I saw in here that it's talking, so from server.js, and in the last video, I remember seeing that it was telling us that the server.js is where we are going to be actually running our, my goodness, my computer is so hot. I don't know why it's okay. So anyways, the server.js is going to be our entry point, and we haven't created that yet. And I'm seeing here like import.env from .env. So I think we're going to be able to get configuration file. Yeah. So we're going to be able to get the configuration and access it from process.env.port. Just feeling. I ended my last video because my computer was getting really hot, and now my computer it went down in temperature and then it went right back up. Maybe this like QuickTime player is taking up a lot of process. I don't know. But anyways, where was I? Let's start creating this JavaScript, or where does it want that? Server.js. Okay, so from right here. So from the root directory. So here, server.js. Okay, so I created this, and now I want to import it, right? So how do we import? It's just import.env from, and is this, okay. So import .env from .env. Does this mean the library that I installed, right? So let me .env. I'm gonna come here, and then I'm gonna do very similar to what they're doing. I'm gonna log this and see what's going on, and then I am going to play around with it a little bit and see. Okay, so .env .config, I think that's what it was saying, and then console.log what was it, process dot env dot port. Okay, so then I can .env dot, and then I can access those things that I declared here. So like port. So I'm gonna run this node server.js. Okay, so it did the 5,000, which is Okay, cool. So I was able to access it here, and that way I wasn't hard coding it as 5,000. So that makes sense. Now I think what we need to do is in this server.js, I am going to create, I want to do the like whatever port.listen, right? So it kind of showed me, so this is my entry point, and it was telling me to, it was saying the steps up here, right? So server.js is my entry point. So it wants me to import Express, and I think Express is how I am going to actually be setting up the setting up all of the listening and server handling requests. So let's write that as well. So we're gonna do import, what are we importing? Express from, is it just like that? Let's see if I got that correct. Import Express from, okay, cool. Like this. But I actually want to know, can I call this like one right here? And let me do this and see if it still works. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Now, what if I just deleted this? Like, okay. What if I just did that? Like, am I gonna get an error? Undefined. Okay, so I do need this to like do the configuration. So this corresponds to what I'm seeing up here. Okay. Now, Express, do I need to like create an Express object or something? .env.config. Okay, so creating this app. So I am going to talk to Express, right? App equals Express, like this. So what's going on here is I'm talking to Express. Okay, so I'm initializing Express, right? I'm getting an object back, and I'm calling it app. And now I'm going to be able to set up app. App has methods that I'm allowed to use, which are part of the Express library, and that's how I'm going to be able to manipulate things. Okay. So, okay, so port. Okay, so now I'm creating something called port, so that port equals, and it's either going to be this process.env.port, or if not that, it is going to be just defaulted to 5,000. Okay? Now, I think what we can do is like app.use, I think that's what it was saying. And what does this want? App.use, come on. What does it want? Express.json. App.get, app.listen. Okay, so express.json. We'll figure out what that's doing later. Express.json. Okay, and now app.get. So this is All right, cool. So now we're creating those like callback functions, or not callback functions, but those functions, middleware functions, I guess. App.get. And now what is the parameter that okay, is it first the URL, right? Like get backslash, then the handler request. So what was this, like an anonymous function or something, and then a return type, or I can't remember how they do that. Okay, so in JavaScript, and this is something that I just need to beat into my head. This is how you create an anonymous function, right? Like you have your parentheses and then that arrow function and then result.send. So like the action. Okay. Result.send here. So oops, I need to request and result, right? And I think those two, request and, are part of result.send. This is my test. Okay, like that. Now, I can kind of get rid of this and do app.listen. Listen, okay, and then within this, it needs a callback function, which is, oh, so it needs the port and, okay, so I'm gonna pass in the port and then this right here, and was it return or console.log? Okay, so console.log listening right now, haha. Okay, so let's run this again. Let's run this server.js and see what we get. So listening right now, haha, and I'm going to come here and do what? I need localhost, right? So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna go localhost, and I think we said port was 5,000. And this is my test. Okay, cool. So we were able to listen and then send that response back. So when I sent my HTTP response to a request to the socket, the IP address and the port, so me from the client side sent that request over, and Node.js took it, or I should say Express took it, right? And it sent it, it said it's a GET request, right? Because I sent, as the client, I sent a GET request over to that port and IP address, okay? And it was the backslash one. And now in that, I have a request and a result. I'm not quite sure what the request and result are, but I think it's like just inherent in the communication. I'm gonna be asking more about like what's actually there. And then I can do like result.send and then send that back, okay? So let me try to do app.get. Let's try to make things a little bit more interesting. App.get get, and now I want to do backslash R E E. I don't know. R E E. And now I want, it's going to be a request, and I'm going to have a request and a result, and then I want to result dot send you passed. Okay, so now I'm going to exit out of this. So okay, I need to install NodeMon. I know that I need to do Nobon now. So I'm listening. Okay, so I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna reload this, and we should get the same thing there. This is a test. Okay, now I'm gonna do localhost backslash, but REE, I think is what I called it, and you passed. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna do REEE, and it should be like undefined or something. Okay, awesome. Cannot get. Okay, awesome. So now the next question is here. Actually, I don't want to keep losing my. It's going to go. I want to keep that kind of. I'm gonna open up another ChatGPT. Okay. Copilot or whatever. Here, so Copilot, okay. Here, and then what exactly is this request and result, and how do I use them? Okay. Checking if my computer's a little bit cooler now. I don't know what was going on, like why it. Maybe there was a software update? I don't know, but not sure. Okay. So in express.js, request, short for request, okay. Result, short for response. Response, okay. Good thing it clarified. Response are objects that represent the incoming HTTP request and the outgoing HTTP response. Okay, so it's an express object. So I have two objects, request and response, and that's why I can do response dot send, right? That's what I did. Response dot send. Okay. Yeah, response dot send. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Containing information about. Oh, okay, so request contains information about the incoming request. So I guess I can get like header. Oh, okay, so I can get random things. I don't know. How do I. Okay, I'm gonna ask like, how do you get more information on the response, like, or on the not response, the request, like request.send. So I can send like a JSON file, I can send a status code and a message, I can do a whole bunch. Okay, so what if I want to run an entire function when I get a get request from a client instead of a single line of code? Okay, so how do I do that? So I create a function called handle request like this, and I can do all of this, and then Handle request has request and response. I can just do this and then the actual function. Okay, so I'm gonna try that. So yeah, now my computer is a lot cooler. 好奇怪，我真的不知道为什么变得这么热。Okay, so app.get. Now, whatever function I'm gonna call it. Function response. Or function, I don't want response because that's request response. Right now I'm trying to implant that into my mind. Request response. So I don't want to use that word. Function callback. Okay. Now function declared. Okay. Function declared. And now I'm just going to actually create that function. Function declared request response here. Okay. Is that the correct format for JavaScript? Request response. Yep, I think it is. So now, what can I do in this function? I should be able to do a lot, right? Like I can send back JSON files. I can, okay. So response.send, and what do I want to send? I want to send, can I send this like package.json? How would I do that? How can I send a JSON file? Okay. Like this, and then data. Or I can get like path. So, okay, cool. Like I can do import path from path like this. Okay. And then I can here const file path directory name. Okay. So I'm declaring a variable called file path, and that's equal to path.join. And what am I joining? Dunder directory name with package.json. Okay. And now can I send this file path? Can I do that? File for download. I don't want to send that. Send file. Send file, maybe. I'll try both. I'll try multiple things. But now I need to like exit out of this. Like there's, okay. Exit out of this. Man, I really need to get NodeMon up and running. Okay. So now I am going to try to do this function callback. I'm gonna come here and do function callback, and then error dir name not defined. Okay. Well, that was a little bit unexpected. Why? Dunder dir name. Why would that be the case? Maybe it's maybe I need to do that send file. Send file like this. And let's just refresh it. Okay, well it's still giving me this, so I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna say like what's going on here. So you're running into a common issue, dir name not defined, because you're using ES modules, import syntax, instead of common.js require. In ES, dir name isn't available by default. You need to manually define it. Okay, I'm just gonna see if this works. So right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of just playing with things a little bit, and then gonna try to start expanding into actually building the project. But I'm just trying to figure out like what am I capable of doing, and how do I go about doing it. So let me just do like maybe I don't know up here. This how do I set up and run node mon? Okay. I can't keep exiting out and going back in and doing all this. So I already have node mon. Install, I think I already installed it, right? Locally. I just run nodemon? Really? Nodemon server.js. Okay. Is it running right now? Let me test. Can't connect to server, so no, I don't think it is. Yes. So it's upset because it doesn't like this. Dir name, but I defined dir name up here. So let me just try it within the function and save. Can I do it again now? Okay, so it's running now, but it still doesn't like the fact that I'm okay. So we solved that problem. Do I need to add this line? Oh, let's copy that. Is it? It's still not. No. Okay, so copy all of this, put it into Copilot, and ask why still can't get Dunder name. You're running into it. Is redefined inside the function. In EJS, import syntax dir name doesn't exist directly, so you need to define it outside the function first. I mean, that's what I did though, right? And then it wasn't happy with that. So it's failed to open. Okay, whatever. Oh, okay. Well, wait, what's this though? Oh, this is one of my previous projects. I'm gonna close. I don't know if I want to close it out though. Okay, whatever. I can close all this out. That way it'll be easier. Okay, so I was able to send that JSON file, which is amazing. That's cool. That's exactly what I was wanting to do. Okay. So now I'm gonna ask where I should be like putting all my callback. Where should I actually be putting all of my handler functions? And I remember something about renderers. What are they and where should they go? Now I can look here. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I actually organize my project right now? Like, I remember that there was something like whatever renderers, which was like storing the HTML locations. Server routes, maybe that's where it is. Route handlers inside of source. Okay. Environment variable tests. App.json express app initialization. Utility helper configuration. Custom middleware. Okay. All right, so organizing express handler function properly makes your code more manageable and scalable. Let's break it down. Where should handler functions go? Inside of routes. Is that what we have here? So this has source routes, so we might do that. Routes, and then user routes, order routes, and controller. Okay, so all right, let's see what routes are in controller and then try to go from there. Oh, it's almost 1 a.m. This time has been flying. Okay, so routes. Handle incoming requests and direct them to the correct controller. Controllers contain the actual business logic, such as fetching data, processing requests. Okay, so import express, what is this? This is routes.inventory routes. Import this from the controller, okay. Const route express router. I'm not sure what express router does, but we'll figure that out. It just creates an object. So router.get inventory, get inventory, which is up here. So this is probably a function within this JavaScript file that returns back something. Router, and then export router. Okay. So EJS. I don't think I've installed EJS, have I? Configure Express to use server.js. App.set directory name. This is where the HTML is. Okay, I think for right now I am going to end this video because I am getting a little bit tired. So in the next video I am going to try to set up, I'm going to try to understand what these routes and controllers are, how I can use that from my main function, or my main, what its connection to server.js is. Okay, so server.js is doing something, and how that goes from routes to controllers, and then also about how you render HTML using these EJS and stuff like this, renderers and all of this. So that's where I'm going to go in next video. So if you guys are interested in that, subscribe to this channel, and that is going to be a tomorrow video. So I hope you had a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. My name is Timothy Lee Grant. Goodbye.